You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not the only one who feels like life moved faster for everyone else. There's a quiet pain that many people carry every day. It does not always look dramatic. It does not always sound loud. Sometimes it simply sits in the heart and makes ordinary moments feel heavy. You see people moving forward. You see people buying homes, finding love, getting jobs, building businesses, posting wins, and appearing confident. Then you look at your own life and wonder why things still feel unfinished. You wonder why your timeline looks different. You wonder why your progress feels slow. You wonder why the dream you once had still seems far away. And slowly, without realizing it, you start calling yourself behind. But being behind is not the truth. It is a feeling. And feelings, no matter how strong they are not always facts. Your life is not late because it does not look like someone else's. Your life is not ruined because it took a different path. Your life is not over because a few years were harder than you expected. You are still here. That means your story is still alive. That means your future is still open. That means the next chapter is still possible. Many people think growth should feel clean, fast, and exciting. They think success should arrive with clear signs and easy proof. But real life is messier than that. Real growth often looks slow from the outside. It looks like showing up when nobody is applauding. It looks like trying again after disappointment. It looks like getting back up after you were embarrassed, rejected, or ignored. It looks like learning to stay steady when your emotions are not steady. It looks like continuing even when you do not fully believe in yourself yet. That is not failure. That is the process. And the process is where strength is built. If everything came easily, you would never discover how strong you really are. If every door opened on the first knock, you would never learn patience. If every dream arrived instantly, you would never learn discipline. The difficult season is not always punishment. Sometimes it is training. Sometimes it is the pressure that shapes your character. Sometimes it is the silence that teaches you how to trust your own effort. Sometimes it is the delay that prepares you for the responsibility of the life you asked for. You may be in a season right now where nothing seems to move fast enough. You may be working hard and still not seeing the result. You may be trying to improve and still feeling stuck. You may be carrying regret about the time you lost. You may be looking at your age, your finances, your career, your relationships, or your confidence and feeling a wave of panic. That panic can make you believe you missed your chance. But you did not miss your chance. You're not one decision away from being worthless. You're not one delay away from being done. You're not one failure away from being disqualified. Life is not a clock that ends your value at a certain age. Life is a journey, and journeys do not all move at the same speed. Some people arrive early and still do not know who they are. Some people arrive later and bring more wisdom, more depth, and more strength. Some people need time to heal before they can build. Some people need time to learn before they can lead. Some people need time to lose the wrong things before they can recognize the right ones. None of that means they are behind. It means they are being prepared in ways that are not always visible yet. The hardest part of feeling behind is what it does to your mind. It starts attacking your self-respect. It starts whispering that you are not enough, that you are too slow, that you are too damaged, that you are too late. And when those thoughts repeat long enough, they begin to feel normal. You stop speaking to yourself with kindness. You stop recognizing your own effort. You stop celebrating small wins because they do not feel big enough. But small wins are not small when they're keeping you alive, keeping you moving, and keeping you from quitting. Waking up and trying again is not small. Choosing discipline over distraction is not small. Refusing to go back to bad habits is not small. Sending the email, making the call, writing the plan, showing up for yourself, and staying honest with yourself are all part of building a life that can hold success. Do not insult the early steps just because they are early. Every strong life is built from ordinary days repeated with care. Every person who becomes powerful first learns how to be steady. Every person who becomes successful first learns how to respect the quiet work. You do not need a perfect life to begin again. You do not need perfect confidence to move. You do not need perfect timing to start. You need a decision, a real one, A decision to stop shrinking your future because your present feels uncomfortable. A decision to stop living as if your current season is your final identity. A decision to stop asking only what went wrong and start asking what can be built now. There is power in that shift, because the moment you stop seeing yourself as a failure and start seeing yourself as someone in progress, your energy changes, your posture changes, your choices change, your standard changes. You stop acting like someone waiting to be rescued and start acting like someone ready to rebuild. That is where momentum begins. It rarely starts with a huge moment. It starts with one honest step, one cleaner choice, one focused hour, one better habit, one refusal to quit. One day where you decide that your future deserves better than your excuses. There is something deeply powerful about a person who keeps going after disappointment. They're not loud about it. They're not always confident about it. But they keep going. They keep showing up. They keep refining themselves. They keep learning how to handle pain without letting pain own them. That kind of person becomes dangerous in the best way. Not because they are aggressive, but because they are resilient. Not because they never break, but because they know how to rebuild. Not because they always feel ready, but because they know how to move even when they are not. Resilience is not pretending everything is fine. Resilience is facing the truth and refusing to let the truth destroy your will. It is saying, yes, this hurt, but it will not end me. Yes, I fail, but I'm still learning. Yes, I fell behind in some areas, but I can still move forward in the next one. Yes, I lost time, but I did not lose my ability to create a better life. That truth can save a person. It can change the way they wake up. It can change the way they speak. It can change the way they make decisions when nobody is watching. A lot of people are waiting for confidence before they begin. But confidence is often the result of movement, not the reason for it. When you keep your word to yourself, confidence grows. When you complete what you start, confidence grows. When you survive what used to scare you, confidence grows. When you prove to yourself that you can handle discomfort without quitting, confidence grows. So do not sit and wait for a feeling that may not arrive until you act. Move first. Start first. Build first. Confidence will catch up. And even if it does not arrive quickly, your discipline can carry you forward anyway. Discipline is what keeps your future alive when your emotions are weak. Discipline is what protects your dreams when your mood wants to quit. Discipline is what helps you keep moving on the days when motivation disappears. That is why strong people respect discipline. It is not punishment. It is freedom. It frees you from the chaos of random effort. It frees you from the trap of depending on feeling good. It frees you from the endless cycle of starting over because you never stayed long enough to grow. Maybe your life has not unfolded the way you imagined. Maybe you thought by now you would be more stable, more confident, more successful, more certain. Maybe you thought the struggle would be shorter. Maybe you thought the hard lessons would have ended by now. But you do not need to be angry at the path just because it took longer than expected. Some of the strongest people in the world became strong because life refused to be easy with them. They had to grow through frustration. They had to learn through failure. They had to become patient before they became powerful. And that may be your story too. Not a story of wasted time. A story of formation. A story of character. A story of learning how to carry pressure without losing hope. A story of becoming the kind of person who can handle more because they have already handled a lot. That is real success. Not just money, not just status, not just attention, but strength that can stand when life gets difficult again. If you have been hard on yourself, there is still time to change the way you speak to your own mind. Stop calling yourself lazy when you are overwhelmed. Stop calling yourself lost when you are simply in transition. Stop calling yourself broken when you're healing slowly. Stop calling yourself late when your path is just unfolding differently. You are allowed to learn at your own pace. You are allowed to rebuild after mistakes. You are allowed to begin again after years of confusion. You are allowed to become a new version of yourself without apologizing for the time it took to get here. Life does not reward self-hatred. It rewards honesty, effort, and persistence. The more you respect your own journey, the stronger your mind becomes. The more you trust the process, the less power fear has over you. The more you keep moving, the more your life starts matching the strength inside you. There will always be someone moving faster. There will always be someone posting a bigger win. There will always be someone who seems ahead in the area you care about most. But you do not need to win every comparison to build a meaningful life. You only need to stay committed to your next step. Do not let the success of others become a weapon against your own peace. Let it remind you that life has many paths and many timings. Let it prove that progress can look different and still be real. Let it push you to stay focused on your own lane. Your lane may feel narrow right now, but it is still yours. And what is yours cannot be stolen by someone else's timeline. You have a life to build. You have habits to strengthen. You have a future to shape. You have choices to make that will matter later. Every day gives you another chance to move from survival into purpose, from doubt into courage, from frustration into discipline. There is nothing weak about beginning again. There is nothing weak about learning late. There is nothing weak about changing direction. There is nothing weak about admitting that the old way was not working. In fact, that kind of honesty is strength. It takes courage to face your own life without hiding. It takes courage to stop pretending you are fine when you are not. It takes courage to say, I need to do better, and then actually do better. That courage is already inside you. It may be buried under stress, shame, and exhaustion, but it is still there. And once you start acting from that courage, even in small ways, your life begins to shift. You do not need a perfect comeback. You need a real one. A comeback built on truth. A comeback built on consistency. A comeback built on self-respect. A comeback built on the decision to stop waiting for life to give you permission to become strong again. So take a breath and listen closely. Your life is not late. Your value is not delayed. Your future is not canceled. Your growth is not invisible just because it is slow. Your healing is not fake just because it is not complete yet. Your progress matters even when nobody sees it. The moments when you choose not to give up matter more than you know. The days when you stay clean, focused, honest, and disciplined matter more than you know. The nights when you're tired but still trying matter more than you know. Those are the days that build your next chapter. Those are the days that separate a temporary setback from a lifetime of defeat. Those are the days that prove your strength is real. And if you feel like you have been standing at the edge of your life, wondering whether you still have time, let this answer be loud inside you. Yes, you still have time. Time to learn. Time to grow. Time to build. Time to recover. Time to rise. Time to become the person you were always meant to be. You're not behind. You're becoming. You're learning how to carry yourself with more purpose. You're learning how to build without rushing. You're learning how to trust the process without needing every answer today. That is not weakness. That is maturity. And maturity will take you further than panic ever could. Keep going when it feels slow. Keep going when it feels uncertain. Keep going when your mind tries to reopen old wounds. Keep going when your progress feels too small to matter. It matters. You matter. Your future matters. And the next step you take can still change the direction of your whole life. And this is where many people lose their way. They keep measuring themselves by speed instead of direction. They think fast is always better. They think early is always better. They think visible progress is always better. But some of the most important growth happens before anyone can see it. A seed does not look impressive underground. A person rebuilding their life does not always look impressive in the middle either. But that does not mean nothing is happening. It means the roots are growing. It means the foundation is getting stronger. It means the future is being supported by work that is invisible right now. Never disrespect what is invisible just because it is quiet. Quiet work becomes loud results later. Quiet discipline becomes visible stability later. Quiet patience becomes powerful confidence later. Quiet healing becomes a healthier life later. And later always arrives faster when you keep moving toward it. You may feel pressure from family, from friends, from social media, from your own expectations. That pressure can make your chest tight. It can make you feel like every day you are supposed to prove something. But you do not have to prove your worth through exhaustion. You do not have to earn the right to exist by being constantly productive. You do not have to build your life in a way that destroys your peace. Success without peace is expensive. Achievement without self-respect is empty. Progress without direction can still leave you feeling lost. So when you rebuild your life, do not just ask how fast can I move. Ask what kind of life am I building? Ask what kind of mind am I creating? Ask what habits are shaping me. Ask whether the person I am becoming can actually hold the future I want. That is a stronger way to live. It is slower sometimes, yes, but it is deeper. And deep lives last longer than flashy ones. One of the most powerful moments in a person's life is when they stop begging the past to be different and start investing in the present with seriousness. The past cannot be changed, but it can be understood. The pain cannot always be erased, but it can become wisdom. The mistakes cannot always be undone, but they can become lessons. This shift is everything. Because the moment you stop treating your life like a permanent reflection of old mistakes, you free yourself to become someone new. You stop carrying shame like it is part of your identity. You stop saying, "This is just who I am," and start saying, "This is who I have been, but not who I must remain." That one change in language can alter the direction of a life. Words shape belief. Belief shapes behavior. Behavior shapes destiny. So speak carefully to yourself. Do not poison your own future with careless words. Do not tell your mind that it is too late when it is not. Do not tell your heart to stop hoping when it still has strength to build. There is a strong version of you waiting on the other side of consistency. That version is not fake. It is not perfect. It is not suddenly free from problems. But it is calm in a way you may not be calm now. It is focused in a way you may not be focused now. It is harder to shake because it has already been tested. It knows that pain can be survived. It knows that disappointment can be handled. It knows that failure is not the final scene. And that version of you is formed by the choices you make today. When you choose not to disappear into distraction, you become stronger. When you choose not to numb yourself with habits that drain you, you become stronger. When you choose to stay present with your responsibilities, you become stronger. When you choose to do the difficult thing that future you will thank you for, you become stronger. Strength is built in these moments, not in theory, in practice, in the decision to keep your life moving forward even when your feelings are noisy. Sometimes the reason you feel stuck is not because you lack potential. It is because your energy has been leaking into things that do not move your life forward. Too much comparison, too much scrolling, too much regret, too much fear, too much waiting, too much time spent thinking instead of acting. That does not mean you're lazy or hopeless. It means you need to reclaim your attention. Attention is one of the most valuable things you own. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention is always on what you have not achieved, your mind will become a prison. If your attention is always on what others are doing, your confidence will keep shrinking. But if your attention begins to focus on what you can control, what you can improve, and what you can build, your life can turn around faster than you think. Start there, not with perfection, with focus. Focus is a form of self-respect. It says my future is important enough to deserve my full mind. You are allowed to outgrow the version of you that kept surviving but never really living. You are allowed to become more intentional. You are allowed to become more serious about your time. You're allowed to choose friends, habits, work, and environments that support your growth. You are allowed to stop being available for every distraction that asks for your energy. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to be selective with what enters your mind. You are allowed to say no without guilt. You are allowed to become harder to distract and easier to trust. These are not small changes. These are life changes. They shape the quality of your days and the direction of your future. A person who learns to protect their energy becomes stronger than a person who tries to do everything and ends up empty. A person who learns to protect their focus becomes more powerful than a person who keeps reacting to everything around them. That kind of wisdom can transform an ordinary year into a turning point. Maybe right now you do not feel powerful. Maybe right now you feel overlooked. Maybe right now your confidence is low. Even then, power is not gone. It is just waiting to be used differently. You do not have to feel powerful to act with power. You do not have to feel confident to make a smart choice. You do not have to feel healed to stop repeating what hurts you. You do not have to feel ready to start building. You can begin in weakness. You can begin in uncertainty. You can begin while still shaking a little inside. Many people wait until they feel strong enough to move, but strength often comes from movement itself. The first step is usually the hardest. After that, something inside you wakes up. You realize you could do hard things. You realize you're not as trapped as you thought. You realize fear gets louder when you stand still and quieter when you move. That realization changes everything. The truth is, your future is still taking shape. It is not locked. It is not fixed. It is not finished. Every choice you make today is adding to it. Every habit is shaping it. Every act of discipline is building it. Every time you choose a better response, a stronger mindset, or a more patient attitude, you are investing in a better life. And this is why your current season matters so much. It may not look like a success story yet, but it is becoming one. It may not feel like progress yet, but it is part of progress. It may not impress anyone yet, but it is teaching you how to endure long enough to receive what you are working for. That is not nothing. That is the foundation of real success. Real success is not only reaching a destination. It is becoming the kind of person who can stay ready for the destination when it comes. So if today you feel tired, keep going gently. If today you feel discouraged, keep going honestly. If today you feel ashamed, keep going with grace. If today you feel behind, keep going with vision. Do not wait for the perfect mood to return. Create a better mood by taking one good action. Do not wait for a magical reset. Reset yourself through small acts of courage. Clean your room. Clear your schedule. Write your goals. Drink water. Take the walk. Make the call. Finish the task. Go to sleep earlier. Get back to the gym. Study again. Apply. Try again. These repeated efforts change everything for you in your life.